All right, we are ending the year exactly the way we started it, just with cheaper gas. That's right. Trump is somehow involved in everything. Every week is a new headline, a new feud, a new statement, same lead character. At this point, keeping up with Trump should come with a W-2 in January. And this was just year one. We still have 1,121 days of this. But hey, who's counting? So tonight we're going to break down the Trump moments of the year that you forgot and the ones that you wish you probably could. It's time to get teed off. Here we go. Goodbye 2025. Welcome 2026. I'm James, your Clubhouse ambassador, coming to you for the next half hour with the 2025 news stories that really mattered, at least according to me. That's right, with no filter, no fluff, and as always, you've got it, no political affiliations. We start with Trump because apparently 1 year can already feel like 4. Then we rewind to the stories that actually define the year, month by month, whether we wanted them to or not. After that, we head into January, where there is another government shutdown clock already ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. And I want to talk about why this keeps happening and why fixing it does not automatically mean blowing up people's jobs or their benefits. And before we get out of 2025, we will end on something lighter. The stuff that we all quietly accepted without agreeing to any of it. But before we dig into all that, there was a comment this week that pretty much sums up where everybody's head is at. Let's start there. Okay, there were some comments that were a little volatile this week. This one comes from George. George Ever, SLUIS84. I'll just call you George. Oh, George says, and he's referring to where I talked about Elon Musk, saying that he can fix the debt problem. Musk is a ridiculously wealthy genius. You, a YouTube wannabe, your criticism is clickbait. First of all, let me say thank you, George, for watching long enough to get mad. You're a lot further along than most people. But this comment actually sums up something that we've all just quietly started to take as normal. Somewhere along the way, we decide that wealth equals correct. That if they have enough zeros in their bank account, that their ideas don't get criticized anymore. They get defended. And if you don't have enough equity in your life, that you should just play like an ostrich and put your head in the ground. And look, Elon Musk is successful. But being rich is not a credential. It is a resume line. Because by your logic, George, the only people that can criticize power are the ones that already have it. And that's a great system if your goal is an aristocracy, not a democracy. But thank you for the comment, George. It made me think a different way, and that's what I actually like to try to do here. Let's get back to it. Okay, well, let's get into the news of the year, and it just started with Donald Trump. January 20th, he was inaugurated into his second term, and it was the first and only inauguration, although James Garfield, I think, was in 2 non-consecutive terms. But it was the first inauguration where the country collectively had half the people say, welcome back, and the other half say, aw. And he started right away, too, with executive orders reshaping Border Patrol, trade, AI policy, space policy, fentanyl designation, energy. And this guy, I don't know how he doesn't have carpal tunnel syndrome, as many executive orders as he signed this year. One of those executive orders was the manned lunar mission that he wants to do by 2028. I don't know why we want to go back to the moon. We know there's nothing there. Why on earth do we continue to want to go? Oh, well, because we're going to set up a depot to get us to Mars. We're spending too much money on this stuff. We're trying to do all this space travel in the next decade, and we still can't get airports to get our check bags to the right airport that we go to. Let's figure that out first. Yeah, Donald went crazy on foreign policy as well. Venezuela, Honduras, Ukraine, Israel, Russia, China, putting tariffs on everybody. The big one now is the Venezuela thing going on, and we're shooting boats out of the water, and my mom, she seems to think they're fishing boats. It appears these fishing boats, they caught a lot of kilos of cocaine. Bunch of court cases going on. I mean, we started off with Chicago birthright citizenship. Last week, they said the National Guard can't be deployed to Chicago. They've got to be naming law buildings after Trump at this point, as many court cases as he has put forth. And these poor judges, these poor lawyers and everything, man, they have not worked so hard in so long. I've seen my golf courses just bare this year because all the lawyers and judges can't get out and play. He had the 250th Army Parade. That kind of looked like Kim Jong-un to me. Like this was North Korea showing their power that they don't really have. There's nothing like tanks and National Guard taking over your cities to show subtle leadership, is there? One of them that I really love is the Trump class warship. I mean, this guy, he just wants to be everything. I said during Christmas, he wants to be Santa Claus too. Did Trump come down your chimney last night? Because he's trying to just be everything, and now he wants all these warships named after him. Because intimidating your enemies with those giant golf trophies that you give yourself every year at your club, yeah, that's just not enough. He also tried renaming the Kennedy Center this year. But sorry, Donald, you can't do that. You only get a theater named after you if you actually get assassinated, not just close calls. I don't want to stay too much longer on this subject just because it riles people up too much, and we don't need to do that. We need to go have a New Year's celebration. Like him, don't like him, he's not a politician anymore. He is a fixture in popular culture. And like that or not, that says more about us than it does about Donald Trump. Just keep that in mind. And we've got a long way to go with the guy, and I do know that my mom is actually counting down the hours. Let's do some back 9/11. That's right, it's time for the Back 9 Loving, the dating segment where all advice told by me should be taken with multiple grains of salt. Dating in your 20s was all about chemistry. Dating in your 40s, that's about coordination. Back in the 20s, it was just sending a text saying, hey, want to come over? In your 40s, it's, hey, what weekend do you not have your kids, your chiropractor, or your emotional baggage? And back in the day when someone didn't text you back, you assumed that they were busy. Now if someone doesn't text you back in 7 minutes, you're like, all right, they're married, or emotionally unavailable, or in a group chat with their ex. Dating apps used to be fun. Now they're basically linked in for trauma. Everyone's profile to me actually says no drama, which means I am the drama. I'm just tired. And nobody is looking for the one anymore. They're just looking for somebody that doesn't lie, doesn't yell, and doesn't need space every time things get real. And the sex? Oh yeah, it's still great, but it just needs a stretch, hydration, and a recovery plan. That's this week's Back 9 Loving, because love in the second half isn't about fireworks. It's about honesty, consistency, and not being crazy. Low bar, shockingly hard to clear. Okay, next segment, the year in news. We're having a lot of technical problems going on with this thing today. The sound, the lights, everything has been going crazy. We'll just go month by month. January. The big news of January was Trump's inauguration coming back to town. And yes, he was signing executive orders before the confetti was even cleaned up. I mean, how many pens did he have to give away? Don't they sign each one with a different pen? And he's got a ton of them, I'm sure. February was all about the border again, because that argument apparently renews annually. Congress, they promised solutions. What America got? More press conferences. March brought market jitters, and Jerome Powell was just sitting at the Fed waving the power cord from the money printer at the outlet, and they shot right back up. Markets sneezed a little, and everybody checked their retirement apps real quick. April was tax season. Yes, our annual reminder that freedom is not free. It takes a percentage of your income. Yeah, nothing says economic confidence like everyone checking their refunds like they're a lottery ticket. May went international. More global conflicts. Same old strongly worded statements. Diplomacy this month was basically that we are concerned, just more strongly worded than the month before. June was protest season. Americans took their kingly complaints outdoors. Every city had a march, every politician had a microphone, and nothing moved. July brought us major court decisions, and half the country cheered. The other half, they didn't even stop watching Netflix. Oh yeah, we had injunctions on, what were they? What were a few of them? Courts couldn't block policies nationwide through blanket injunctions, yeah. Parents' rights to opt kids out of the LGBTQ plus curricula. If we keep adding letters to this thing, what is this going to be in 20 years? It's going to be LGBTQ plus hyphen dash parentheses H95667 semicolon. I guess we put the plus on there now. Okay, whatever. We'll keep it on there then. In August, lawmakers went on vacation, and we didn't really miss any of them. The world just kept spinning. The borders stayed open. They weren't even there. And also in August, which was major news this year, the Back 9 Life channel officially was created. Big time, big news. September was the threat of the government shutdown, because yes, this is our favorite fall tradition in this country. Yeah, nothing says powerful leaders like negotiating over your own deadline. October went full-on culture war. Speech, schools, even Halloween got turned political this year. At this point, if you're not offended by something, you're not breathing. November brought election fallout. Yes, there was celebrating, there was screaming, there was redistricting, and there was unfollowing relatives on social media. Don't mess with the Zoran. He'll give you the foot uppercut. I love that guy's name. Man, Danny. You're too cool to be a mayor, man. And December closed the year with debt talks and economic anxiety. Very festive. Yep, we ended it like we started it. Tired, divided, and refreshing headlines. It's time for the Nostalgic News Minute. Good evening. As Americans welcome the arrival of a new year, the nation does so with measured optimism. The year 1950 begins with a strong economy, expanding suburbs, and a growing confidence in the American future. At the same time, global tensions remain. The Soviet Union continues its development of nuclear weapons, and the United States government stresses the importance of preparedness and restraint. Early today, government officials briefed us on concerns about the situation by saying it is, and I'm quoting, stable. As midnight approaches, communities across the country will mark the new year quietly with moderate celebrations. That's the news for tonight. I'm James Roberts reminding you that while Americans welcome the new year, others are watching it arrive. Now I want to get into something that I'm going to be doing more of in the coming weeks. You remember Doge, whenever we thought that they were going to try to cut spending and stuff? I was all for that and loved it and everything else. But the way it gets addressed is always bad. You can't go at it by saying, hey, we have to start yanking down jobs. Cutting spending should not be all of a sudden a thing that creates conflict. Now, I get that both sides are going to say, well, they're just wanting to take your jobs because they're pandering for votes. The voters got to be smarter than that, because there are ways to cut our spending, get our deficit down without touching a job and not touching benefits either. Yes, the bulk of the federal budget is Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, defense, and interest payments on the debt. Some of these things just can't go away. However, there are ways to streamline, just make things more efficient and knock off probably $1 trillion without even touching a job. I'm serious too. And I get there's going to be people like George say, hey, who are you to say what we can and cannot do? Well, George, I'm a citizen. I won't get into it too much here on this New Year's episode, but in the coming weeks, I'm going to devote segments to how to do this. Just as an example, we could get a lot of people that move from just pushing papers, which these jobs are going to be taken by AI at some point anyway. You can say they won't, they will. Progress is going to happen no matter what. You're either going to work with it or you're going to get left behind. But we could retrain these people not to be paper pushers and just put in data or anything like that. Retrain them to be project managers. If you've ever tried to deal with the government, you have to talk to 14 different people for something. Have somebody come in and be a case manager for a certain number of citizens. And then they have to, from end to end, take care of whatever problem is going on with them. And they handle all the internals, they handle all the everything else, so that the citizens, they can go work more and be more productive and pay more taxes and get more revenue. It's one little small thing like that. And I promise you, no matter what politicians tell you, it is not about cutting jobs. It is not about cutting benefits. It is just about restructuring to make things run more efficient and put people into higher value positions. But I'm going to get into this in the coming months. I realize this stuff is hard for people to look at, but we really need to. It's just time that we do. Children, grandchildren are really going to be in a mess if we don't get seriously on this pretty damn soon. All right, let's get a New Year's hack trick. All right, it's time for the hack trick. 3 little New Year's shortcuts that will actually survive January if you stick the landing. Hack number 1, do not set New Year's resolutions on New Year's Eve. You're tired, you're emotional, you've had too much to drink, or you haven't had enough. Nothing good has been decided on New Year's Eve after 9 p.m. Instead of resolutions, make a not this year list. Not goals, boundaries. Write down all the stuff you are absolutely not doing again. That one relationship, that one habit, that one thing that you keep saying yes to for absolutely no reason at all. I promise you that small little shift in mindset will change your year faster than a post-it note on the refrigerator that says go to the gym. Hack number 3, before midnight, do one responsible thing. Just one. Drink water, charge your phone, lay out your clothes, because January 1st you is going to wake up confused, dehydrated, and emotionally Googling their life choices. That's your hat trick, because the new year isn't about becoming a new person. It's about becoming a slightly smarter version of the same mess. Last one, the stuff that we all quietly accepted this year. No vote, no meeting, not even an email letting us know that it was happening. We woke up one day and said, hey, I guess this is how life is now. Number one, everything just costs more, and nobody explains why anymore. Number two, fast food now has wait times and line cuts if you're using the app. Number three, apps asking for tips, and all of them seem to do it. Every one of them. What is that? Number four, streaming services charging more with fewer shows. That's everywhere. I go to McDonald's now and I order a quarter pounder and I get an eighth pounder. Number five, ads inside things we already paid for. If I pay for a subscription, should I need to see an ad? Should I? Number six, passwords have 14 different requirements to recover them, and all of it is personal information that you are putting online. Number seven, customer service being a chatbot named Adam. Number eight, phones costing more than the cars we learned to drive in. Updates that change things without you even asking. Number 10, work emails that say quick question and then just ruin your entire evening. Every problem being solved with an app that doesn't work. Number 12, news alerts that sound like emergencies, but they're not. Whenever you turn on the news or something and there'd be like breaking news and then you'd be like on the edge of your seat. What is it? There's a cat in a tree. Huh? That's breaking news. 13, self-checkout being the only checkout. 14, unlimited plans that definitely have limits. Number 15, being tracked, hacked, or scammed by somebody on the continent of Africa. Everything being a subscription now, with ads. 17, QR codes replacing actual people. 18, terms and conditions that nobody reads, even the lawyers that wrote them. 19, social media feeds showing me 14 advertisements before I can see that dish that my aunt is having for dinner. 20, being tired for no specific reason whatsoever. Somehow all of this stuff just became normal on us. All right, that's the end of this New Year's episode. We're going into 2026. I had a lot of technical issues going on with this one tonight, but we got through it. And yeah, hey, guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it all. Happy New Year to everybody. Everybody be safe. Get into 2026, get rolling, and see if we can get another trip around that great big rock that glows in the sky going on. All right, see you next time.